Welcome everybody to our Thursday Nurturing Flow class. It's lovely to see you all set up with your space. This is what's quite nice actually about Zoom, because I was a bit unsure about it to start with, but nice that you can create your own space in your own houses for your practice. So that's really, really lovely. So it's our Nurturing Flow. So it's a much slower class than normal, and it's a chat than we normally do, and a chance to really connect our minds and our body. So there will be some quite slower, longer holds, and they're designed to really sort of help us connect mind and body and get into all the connective tissues. Okay, we're actually going to start lying down, but before we lie down, just make sure that you've got some pillows. So maybe a couple of pillows handy or some cushions. Blocks, if you've got them, are great, and maybe a blanket. Support under our knees. So just have them reachable from your mat. Okay, and then so come to join me lying down on your mats. So just slowly bring yourself lying down, have a bend in the knees and the feet flat on the floor, and just lowering the spine down and just taking a little moment to connect. If you haven't turned your music on, you might want to do that as well. If you want to play the Nurturing Flow playlist or some music of your own, please feel free to press play. And just take a little moment now just to connect. So noticing the feet on the floor, really feeling the contact with the feet on the mat. Perhaps placing your hands on your tummy and having the elbows on the floor. So maybe the hands more towards the hips so that you can rest the elbows on the floor. Allow the neck to be long and just relax the head. So just closing the eyes here and just taking a moment just to focus on your breathing. So just recognizing that you've arrived here for your practice. Tuning into the breath. Noticing how your body's moving as you're breathing. And just getting an awareness of what's here for you right now. So maybe any thoughts or feelings that are around. Just allowing whatever's here just to be here. So we're not trying to change anything. Perhaps being aware of the tummy moving as you breathe. Expanding as you breathe in. And moving down as you breathe out. And now inviting you to just bring the palms together up in front of you. So you can keep the eyes closed and just gently rub the palms as if you're warming them. So rub them together just to get them a little bit warmer. Just gently rubbing the palms together. And now bringing the fingertips onto the temples. And we're just going to gently massage the sides of our face. So the tops of the jaw here by the eyes. Just a gentle massage, maybe some circles. And moving now towards the ear. So just massaging the top of the jaw where it sort of connects with the ear. Just some slow circular movements. Can hold a lot of tension in our jaws. So just using this massage, this touch, just to relax the muscles of the face. So deciding what pressure you want to use yourself. Just massaging under the ears a little bit. Allowing the jaw to relax. Now placing all of the fingers on tops of your eyebrows. So leaving the little fingers off, but the other 3 fingers on the top of the eyebrows, and just taking some slow circles here. Softening the eyes. And maybe noticing the rest of your body as you do this. Perhaps being aware of the knees, feet on the floor. And now slowly bringing the hands down either side of the body with the palms face up. And just seeing if you can notice any sensations in your face. Allowing the jaw to feel soft, the tongue to relax. Now taking the arms out in a T position. So option to open your eyes if you want to and have a soft gaze. Take the arms out in a T position and just stretch out the arms, taking the shoulders to the floor. Feeling that openness. Now bringing one knee in and giving it a hug with the hand, and then the other knee in, and just giving yourself a bit of a hug here. So bringing both knees in. Just having a massage of the lower spine. Good. And now taking the hands back out in that T position, we'll roll over onto the right hand side. So keeping the knees bent and tucked in, bring the knees down onto the right hand side. So Laura, you might want to put a pillow between your knees here if that's more comfortable. Otherwise, just letting the knee hang, bring down. You might want to put your right hand on top of the left knee for a deeper stretch, and then look towards your left hand. Just breathe into this twist. So noticing the twist in the spine, maybe closing the eyes if they've been open for a while. Relaxing that left shoulder down to the mat. Good. And now bringing both knees up into the center. Give them a little bit of a hug here and release the knees down to the left-hand side. Maybe taking hold of that right knee now with the left hand, having the right hand stretched out, arms stretched out, and looking towards the right fingers. Feeling that stretch in your spine, that twist, maybe under the arm. It can take a few minutes for the mind to settle if it's been quite busy. So just allow it, just all those thoughts to be there. Don't push anything away, but just see if you can observe the thoughts. Perhaps direct your attention to your breath or the sensations in your body. And now bringing the knees back up to center, we'll hug them in. Good. And now just a slow sort of rock and a roll. We're going to come up into a seated position. So you might just want to do that, slowly rocking up into a seated position and coming to sit with the legs crossed. So if you might want to put a cushion or a block underneath you, just so that you can lift your hips a little bit higher. So we're just going to come into a cross-legged seated position. So just take a little moment to settle. Bring the hands out so that you're holding opposite elbows, and we're going to stretch out the neck here. So taking the left ear to the left shoulder and taking your hand then onto the right elbow, just deepen the stretch. So using the weight of your hand on your elbow to really stretch out the side of the right neck. Maybe moving the chin, just to feel that stretch. Good. Coming back up to center and change sides. So now holding the opposite elbow, taking the neck the other way. Just notice if there's any difference in this side. Maybe it feels a little bit tighter or a bit looser. Inhale and a slow exhale. Good, and now bringing the head up to center, we'll just bring the chin down to the chest here and take the shoulder blades down the back. Great, and then coming back up. And we're going to come into our dragonfly pose now. So bringing the legs out wide. So coming into a straddle position. So having the sit bones on the floor here. And if you've got your pillows, bring them in front of you now so we can come into a supported dragonfly. So bring your pillows in front of your legs. So having the legs outstretched, if there's any discomfort here in the knees, there is the option to put a rolled up blanket or a block under the knees so they feel more supported. But otherwise, relaxing the feet. Take an inhale, lift the chest up, so grow tall through the spine. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Bring the head down onto the pillow so that the forehead is supported. So we're looking, our target area for this pose is in the inner thighs. So just release here. So notice if you're holding any tension in your neck or in your back. Steady breath in and a slow exhale out. So just allow the shoulders to relax. So notice if you're holding tension in your shoulders. Keep your forehead down, supported by the pillows. Great, well done everyone. So this meridian that we're stretching out here is connected to our liver. So it's the meridian energy channel. And it's really interesting that when this is blocked, we can often get more irritated and get angry. It's as if we're tight on the inside and then the little things can become the big things. So this is a really good pose for sort of releasing and opening up this energy channel here. It can help us feel much calmer. Sort of regulate our nervous system. When this is more open, we can just respond better to challenges. Good. And then maybe just, you might want to remove one pillow if you're feeling you've stretched a little bit and just come down a little bit further onto the floor. That's great. So just having that release. So just exploring the edge. We're just exploring that edge of that stretch. Good. And as you inhale now, we'll bring the arms, walk the arms back up. Take the pillows to the side. And we'll just do a rebound pose. So it's important, we've done a posture like that we come into a rebound pose. So we're just going to come and lie down on our mats once more. Just in a Shavasana, so just lying down, feet falling away from one another, hands either side. And just notice any sensations in the body here. So maybe noticing the fingers, the toes, any sensations here. Lots of restorative practice here for the body. It knows how to heal itself. So we're giving it that opportunity. And now coming into Banana Asana. It's actually called Banana Asana. It's a banana pose. So we're going to walk the feet. Now there's the heel. So it's important to keep the sit bones on the floor. Walk the feet off the mat. Come to the right hand side. Okay, so the feet are walked off the mat, and then lift the right leg up and cross the ankle. So you're holding the left foot just slightly off the mat. And then take the hands above your head. Use your right hand, to take hold of the left wrist, and you're coming to make like a banana shape. So over towards the right hand side. So we're breathing into the side of the body here. So really opening up. And we can call this a stretch, but it's almost like we're unsticking all of the interconnective tissues here, just opening. So there might be sensations in the arm, the side of the body. Just breathe in. Let the chest, belly expand. And as you exhale, release. So there's always the option to close your eyes in these poses. It's quite a sort of personal practice, these restorative poses. So closing the eyes actually encourages the body to relax and restore. And as you're here, you might be able now just to move the feet a little bit further to the right, so you can uncross them and move that left foot a little bit further, then hook it with the right ankle. Great, well done. And now coming back to center, bring the legs back, in the hands back either side with the palms face up. Let's take a few moments here. So as we come into these sort of stretches and movements, we're just moving different parts of the body, different circulatory systems are coming into function. So it's just important to come back and just settle. And now walking the feet towards the left-hand side, so walking them off the left-hand side of the mat. And then lifting the left leg up, crossing it over the right foot. And doing the same with the hands, then taking the left hand around the right wrist, making your banana shape. Try and keep the buttocks on the floor here. So you can turn your head to the side if it's more comfortable, that's fine. And breathing in, really expanding into the right hand side of the body. And if you notice the mind is busy, just seeing if you can observe what's happening. Observe where your mind goes. Just noting. Perhaps imagining yourself sitting by a stream, just watching all those thoughts drifting by like maybe leaves or twigs on the water. And just bring your attention back to the sensations in your body. Good. Now bring the feet back to the center of the mat, arms down either side with the palms face up. And just take a few moments. And then in your own time, slowly roll over onto one side. We're going to just roll onto our tummies now and come into our Sphinx pose. So just moving really mindfully and slowly. So you might want to get your blanket now and lie underneath the pubic bone. So unfold your blanket so it's not too thick. Perhaps place it in the center of your mat. And then bring yourself down. So lowering yourself down onto your tummy. From here, we're going to place the elbows underneath the wrists. So coming into our Sphinx pose. So we're opening up the lower back. And just take a few breaths here. So there is the option if you've got a block here to support the head. It's fine just to be like this as well. So just releasing the lower back. The wet legs can be, the heels can be falling away from each other. Relaxing the hands and the feet. Relaxing the glutes. There's often an inclination here to sort of squeeze and cling on. So just relax. Breathing into the tummy. Really good pose for working on our spine, the alignment of our spine, especially if you've been bent over a phone or a laptop. Restores that curvature in our lumbar spine. It's an option to take the hands to the corner of the mat now if you'd like to come into our sort of seal pose, but only if this is comfortable for your back. It's absolutely fine to stay in Sphinx pose, but maybe taking the hands out to the corners, just pushing up just to stretch into that back a little bit more. So really being curious about the sensations, notice how they change. Maybe some stay the same and different sensations come and go. Releasing the hands back down now. We're going to make our way back up into a child's pose for our rebound pose. So removing the blanket, bringing the big toes to touch, having the knees wide and sitting back down on the heels. So allow the belly to drop between the thighs here and just coming down so the forehead comes down to the floor, or if it doesn't reach the floor, a cushion or a block is absolutely fine, but it's important to have the head supported. So allow the hands and arms to be soft, a bend in the elbows. Option to even take the hands behind you if you'd rather. Noticing the breath. So all the qualities of the breath in this moment. So noticing if your breathing is shallow or a bit deeper. Just see if you can take a full inhale and a slow exhale. Good. And then as we inhale, we're going to just bring the knees sort of slightly together, coming into sort of a tabletop position. And we're going to walk our hands away from us. So coming into the melted heart pose. So walk the hands away from you, bringing the heart and the forehead down towards the mat. So try and bring the head down to the mat. This is a really good shoulder opener. If it gets too intense in the shoulders though, just bend the elbows. So you just want to explore the edge in these poses. So we're not looking to tip into anything that's painful, but just noticing the edge, where we can feel the sensations. You can breathe into any sort of sensations of stretching and opening. And then exhale, just releasing. Just be curious about your own body. So notice if there's any stretching in the shoulder blades. Maybe one is feeling tighter than the other. We take longer in these poses so that we can really get into the connective tissues, really support the body. Just taking a few breaths here. That's great, well done. And now as you inhale, bring your head up, slowly walk your hands back into a tabletop position. So having the wrists below the shoulders. And from here, we're going to come into our lizard pose. So we're going to bring the right foot onto the outside edge, so by the little finger of the right hand. So as you bring that right leg up, see if you can put the right foot by the little finger of the right hand, so the outside edge. Good, and just feel into this. So you might want to walk now the left knee away from you slightly to get into a sort of a lunge, to get into the hips. So feel, might be some tightness in the hips, so just feeling into the hips. If this already feels quite tight here, you might want to bring your right hand up onto your knee. But otherwise, just feeling into the hips here. So option now to just sink into the hips. Maybe bringing your arms, coming down onto your forearms. Maybe coming down onto a cushion or a pillow to support you. And allowing the head just to hang down, or even to feel supported on pillows if you've got them nearby. So this one can be quite an intense stretch, but it's a wonderful hip opener. Lots of tension stored in our hips, so it's really good to release here. Really increases our circulation, our flexibility. Good. And remember, letting go now of what this looks like. These different practices in this nurturing flow are not about alignment because our bodies are different. So wherever you can feel the stretch in your body. Good. And always the option to come back up onto the hands if it's getting a bit too much of a discomfort. Remember, we're exploring that edge. Otherwise, just try and release into those hips. Great, well done everyone, that's really good. Okay, so now taking it really slowly, we're going to bring that leg. So you might want to just get a bit of movement into the hips before you move it back. So you might want to just rock back a bit. And then when you're ready, bring that right foot back down, round into your tabletop position. Good, and we'll do the same with the other side now. So bringing the left foot round the left outside edge of the left hand. Good. Moving that right knee back, relaxing the foot, and just sinking down into the hips here. So you might want to just come up onto the knee a little bit here to sink down. And then taking your weight down, so maybe onto cushions once more. Maybe the left knee goes out to the side of it as well. So just explore where you really feel like you're opening up into these hips. This is our lizard pose. So relaxing the neck. Well done. Remember, don't worry if it looks messy or you feel like it's looking messy. It's not what it looks like. It's with all of these postures, it's what it feels like. It's what's going on the inside. Great. And then as you inhale, coming back up. Working into those hips, so getting that movement, maybe straightening the left leg before you move it. And then bringing that leg all the way back round. And we'll just come back into a child's pose here for a moment. Head to the floor. Release. Good. Now walking the hands up. Just coming to rest the hands on the knees. So coming just to kneel for a moment and just closing the eyes and just noticing how you're feeling right now. Noticing the quality of the breath, the rhythm. Good. Now coming down, we're going to come into a seated position. So moving your legs to one side and slowly coming down to a seated position with the legs out in front. We're going to come into our caterpillar pose. So taking your cushions wherever they are and placing them on top of your legs. So just have a little bit of a wriggle here so that sit bones go down to the floor. And placing your hands on top of the cushions, take a big inhale, lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, we're going to round forwards here. So bring the head down to the cushions, release the hands. So you might want, I always like to hold the corners of the bottom cushion here for some reason, but release your arms down, wherever is comfortable for you. Good. So let the head feel heavy, close the eyes. Invite stillness. So these poses we're looking to set up and then just open up. So we're completely relaxing the body. and finding stillness. Let the pose do all the work here. So the position is massaging and stimulating different parts of our body. Release all the muscles of the spine. So see if you can feel the vertebrae, just allowing them to separate, stretch out, allowing the feet to be soft, toes to be relaxed. And then inhale, coming all the way back up, taking the pillows off to one side. And then bringing one, I'll come to face you so you can see what I'm doing, but you can stay on your mats. Bring your right foot up. We're going to come into our Lord of the Fishes pose here. So bring the right foot up to the knee, then lift it over the knee. Okay, so the option is to stay here and just so you can modify this by just holding onto the front of the shin and taking a gentle twist behind, or take the weight over onto the left-hand side and take the left foot next to the bottom here. So this is our Lord of the Fishes. But keep that leg out is absolutely fine as well. Okay, so whatever position that you're in, so keeping the leg here is absolutely fine. If you're in this position with both legs, just try and get your sit bones down to the floor. So put your hands on the shin of that right leg and inhale, just find some length, so grow tall. And then as you exhale, we're going to twist. So the option is to bring the left hand onto the left knee here and just twist behind. So with these twist poses, so we can just modify by keeping our hand here, that's fine. With these twists, we're massaging all of the internal organs. So it's really important to have these twists as part of our practice, because what we do is we sort of, it's as if we're like squeezing a cloth and we're sort of getting rid of any toxins from the different organs as we hold it here. And then as we release, we let the fresh oxygen and fresh blood flow. Really restorative and beneficial for our digestive system and all of the organs. So inhale, grow tall, and then exhale, just release a little bit further round. Good. And then release. So take both legs out in front. And we'll do the same on the other side. So bend the left knee, left foot over the right knee. Come on to the right hand side this time and tuck the foot underneath. Option to keep the legs out if there's any discomfort in your knees. So try and get both sit bones to the floor. And then inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale, twist over to that left hand side. So modify is fine by holding onto the shin here and twisting, or bringing that right hand across the knee and twisting here. So just holding that twist. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Maybe closing the eyes and just see if you can notice how the tummy and the spine here are twisting. Good. And then exhale, we'll release down. Take both legs out in front of you now. And then get a block or a cushion or a rolled up blanket ready for supported bridge. So if you've got a block, that's great. If you want to roll up a blanket, roll it up so it's quite tight. So if you're looking for something like this. Okay, so we're going to just put them by the side of your mat. And then come to the one edge of your mat and hold on to your shins and just slowly roll yourself down. Just really slowly, one vertebrae at a time. And then bring the heels under so that you can just touch them with the back of your hands. And just take a moment just to lie here. Perhaps again, checking in with how you're feeling. So noticing all the different parts of your body, your knees, feet, tummy. And then we'll take a big inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to lift the hips up and then place your roll blanket or your block underneath just the very top of where your bottom is. Okay, so your very lower back. So the very top of your bottom. So maybe put in, if you've got a blanket, just placing that there. Okay, if you've got a block, then you can choose which height. So you can either go on the lowest height, medium, or even come up onto the top height of your block, your choice. And then just allow your lower back, the the flat part of your back, to release down onto the block. And maybe staying like this for a moment with the hands outstretched, palms face up. An option then to take one leg straight and then the other, if that feels right for you. Just to really release here. Breathe into the tummy. Breathe out. Notice if you're holding on anywhere. To see if you can relax. Closing the eyes. Giving that tummy space. Now it's had a twist. Now just giving all those organs space. Good. And if you've had your legs outstretched, just walk them in now one at a time. And as you inhale, lift the hips up, remove the block or the blanket, and slowly lower your spine down to the mat. Good. From here, we're just going to bend the knees and hug the knees in and just massage that lower spine. So you might want to do some circles with your hands on the knees. You might want to take the knees wide, just see what your body wants to do. And we'll just come into a happy baby. So taking the arms between the legs and wrapping the hands around to take hold of the heels. Just having a bend in the knees and just relaxing here. So letting the knees fall down towards the floor. Using the weight of your hands on the top of your heels here just to release down. Good, well done. So now take the feet down. We'll come into a reclined butterfly. So bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall away from one another. Option to put your cushions or your pillows to support the knees if you'd like to. Or just allow gravity to take them down to the floor. And then perhaps taking the hands up so the hands are on top of the head, on the floor behind you with the elbows out wide. And just feeling this open posture, allowing all your body to be really open, heart to be open. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing gravity to allow you to sort of just sink down, soften. Giving your body this time. Good, and now just preparing for Shavasana. So if you've got a blanket, You might want to lie it over you, tuck your toes into your blanket. You might want to put a pillow under your head, it's your choice. If you've got a blanket, you might like to wrap your toes underneath, make sure you're all tucked in. And then just slowly making your way back down into a lying down position. If you've got any discomfort in your lower back, you might prefer to have a bend in the knees, it's your choice. Otherwise, have the legs out straight, feet falling away from one another. And totally relaxing the body now. So having the palms face up either side of you, away from the body, so there's plenty of space. And just noticing all the contact points that you're making with the floor. Noticing the heels, backs of the legs, the bottom, the upper back and the shoulders, backs of the hands and arms, and the head. And with each inhale, just breathing in deeply, and each exhale, just allowing yourself to sink that bit further into the mat, into the floor. Allowing all of the muscles of your face to relax, forehead to soften. Maybe the lips to part slightly so the jaw can fully relax. Just noticing how you feel. Scanning through your body, noticing any sensations. Just allowing a softening, a relaxing. Nothing to do, just to be here. Now taking all of your attention to notice your breath. For a full inhale and a full exhale. Now choosing a focus point for your breath. So this might be the tip of your nose as the air travels in. It might be the chest, might be all the way down in your tummy. Just choosing a place to focus on your breathing. As best you can, keeping your attention on this one place. So you breathe in and breathe out. Inviting you now to just bring both hands up and to place them one on top of the other on your heart. So holding your hands on your heart, just noticing maybe the warmth of your hands, offering yourself some love, kindness. Feeling your breath. Now taking a big inhale, Taking the hands back out, maybe wriggling the toes and fingers and reaching up tall behind you. So perhaps reaching out and then all the way up. So you're reaching from the tips of your toes, the tips of your fingers, a big stretch as you're lying down. Reaching out all of the side body. And in your own time, just hugging the knees in now and rolling over into a fetal position. So rolling over onto your side. And taking a moment with your hands supported by your head. Keeping the eyes closed. And just take a moment here. Just to relax. Noticing how you feel. And then slowly making your way up to seated. Keeping the eyes closed if that's comfortable, and maybe having the legs crossed. And together we'll just take the hands out to the side and we'll take a big inhale, reach the arms up. And the palms together. And as you exhale, bring them down slowly towards the chest. Take the thumbs into the chest. Take an inhale. And then blink the eyes open with your exhale. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Wonderful. Thank you. I hope you have a really lovely evening. Feel free to unmute yourselves or just to turn your computer off. That's absolutely fine. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, Jo. That was brilliant.
Oh, you're very welcome. Have a lovely evening. Take care, everybody.
And you.
That's
All right.